Hey, we just got back from San Jose, and let me tell you something. Something that saved our bill was sailing. We used Saily while we were on the road, and guess what? Because you can get affordable eSIM plans in over 160 countries, including the one we were in, which would be the US of A. You can save your business or yourself big money on roaming fees, and you don't ever have to worry about not having service. And also, it's backed by Nord Security. So, of course, if you're worried about like people hacking, and you use public Wi-Fi's, and it's always like, listen, it's an open portal. You got to, use at your own risk, right? Whatever. You don't have to worry about that.
What's your SIN number?
Yeah, 100%.
No, to not use this protection would be a failure.
Oh, boy. You also don't have to wait in line at the airport to get a local SIM card. Avoid scams, avoid scammers, stay connected, no wandering around looking for public Wi-Fi spots like we said. With an eSIM, you're always connected, and you download the app once, it's there forever, so you can just kind of use it and fire it up whenever you need it. And we've got a little bit of a discount for you. 15% off. Use the promo code DANGLE. Either download the Saily app or go to saily.com/dangle. Again, 15% off Saily data plans.
Whoa.
Not daily data plans. Saily data plans. Use the code DANGLE at checkout. Download the Saily app or go to saily.com/dangle. Let's start the show.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
I love that you're drinking out of S.J. Sharkey's mug.
Yeah. No, this is Frenzy.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's Frenzy's mug.
Get it
This
right.
one's Frenzy. I thought it was S.J. Sharkey as well. This is Frenzy.
Oh.
We got to stop pissing off Frenzy. I brought something. So
Yeah.
on this show, we talked about how Frenzy, the mascot for the San Jose Barracuda,
Yes.
I said it looked like it had tire marks on its face.
Oh,
That was the wrong thing to do, Steve.
He was not pleased with you.
And I said it sort of looked like a warthog a little bit.
Yeah.
So he printed
I love that you
this off. It's a piece of paper with tire marks and I believe Pumbaa from The Lion King.
Yes.
Can we get a close-up of Steve on that one? There we go.
And he crumpled it up and he ripped it right in my face. and I saved the paper and I will cherish it forever for my new friend, Frenzy.
Yes, yeah. That was it was an incredible week in San Jose. We've got a special interview up this morning with Dan Boyle. It was supposed to be, just an interview that we put in the show, but it ended up being a 45-minute standalone podcast on its own. And in it, he goes into everything from playing for John Tortorella, who had just been let go like the day before.
Yeah,
to
Mike Keenan.
Talking about Mike Keenan, talking about sort of the glory days in San Jose. Obviously, he won a cup in Tampa.
Larry Brooks.
Oh man, that was one of the better parts of the interview. It was great. So if you're interested in just like one of those player interviews where they kind of lay it all out on the line, Dan does. He said everything.
That might be the hardest a guest has ever made me laugh.
About what? Which part? Larry Brooks?
The Mike Keenan feedback.
Yes, the story from Mike Keenan. Yeah,
I don't want to blow it.
Sometimes
it just
you hear about these NHL coaches, guys, and I'm like, how did anyone ever think that you could be a coach in the NHL? Some of this stuff. It's just insanity. But anyway,
I'm just trying to get the best out of you.
You will love it. You will enjoy it. And let's get on to the Leafs, who took 5 of 6 points in their Western Road swing, which is pretty good. They used to call it Death Valley because it was. They used to go 0-3 all the time because they were bad and California teams were good. But good game last night, despite clearly being a little bit tired. They are now 3 points up on Florida. Could make it 5 if they win their next game against Florida. And guess what? Florida will be playing the second half of a back-to-back because they're playing Montreal on Tuesday.
Oh, lovely.
Now, let's not talk Montreal, Florida just yet. Let's keep it to the Leafs. But because there was the Niko Mikkola incident, Montreal, Florida.
Yes. Okay.
But so we will update you on that a little bit. But let's talk about, obviously, the San Jose game. We were there. We saw it. Not Joseph Woll's best game. Last night seemed to be a bit of a rebound for him.
Oh, big time. Big time, yeah. Even though, they blow the 2-0 lead, I wouldn't put that on him. The Leo Carlsson goal was really, really good. Really good shot from him. Excellent screens by the Ducks. And then, greasy rebound. Team doesn't help you out very much. Flings off the post. Okay, fine. He kept them alive. They held that lead in the third period for a long time. Of course, I knew the game was over on account of it was a Steven Lorentz goal, and they're all game winners. Good Western road trip, good California road trip, which is not how we thought we would be talking about it.
It's nice. It's nice. Looking at sort of
based on the way it started,
the first goal that was called back, Mitch Marner swinging his stick through the air. Obviously, the night before in LA,
it's too funny.
The Leafs had a call like that go their way. Last night, it didn't. And Marner said after the game, guys, that it was because of his height. The ref said it was because of your height. Probably, if you were a bit taller, this probably would have gone your way.
Unpopular. Well, I don't know if it's unpopular. I think Matthews' high stick was further above his shoulders than Marner's. I do.
I think with those plays, it seems like the angle is so difficult to tell with the cameras. There isn't a great camera angle where you can say this is definitive either way. And I feel like the NHL should probably try and solve that, because with the Matthews one, we had because he was so close to the boards. Yeah. Even Mitch Marner was close to the boards too, but at least we had the other angle down the side of the zone.
Maybe that's why.
Well, yeah, I think so. But with the Matthews one, we could only kind of see the overhead view and on a kind of crooked angle, and you couldn't really tell. And then the Marner one, you have a couple different angles. But the camera stuff with these shoulder views, like, they need to figure that out. If it's going to come down to like a big playoff goal or something.
I know we want quicker reviews, but that was like a 30-second review last night, and then they called it back. I was like, you don't want to take a few more looks?
You know that quickly?
Already? All right, well, it's fine. I'm not complaining about it. Realistically, probably neither of them should have counted, but
I honestly, I think the Matthews one shouldn't have counted. It looked very, very against the rules.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't think we're asking about that though, right? We're moving on to Mitch Marner. Let's not like that details get in the way. Let's complain about the Mitch Marner thing when the Matthews thing went our way.
Yeah.
How come both couldn't go our way?
Because it's the NHL.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, from the moment they announced that review, I'm like, well, that's coming back. It's only fair, right? How many goals do you see reviewed for that particular infraction? And the Leafs had 2 in back-to-back games. I've just never seen that before.
No, it's fascinating. Now, one of those things about that interview, that review that I wanted to kind of talk about was, I felt like I understand the need to do it, but sometimes with review, I feel like it's like, okay, is that the thing that led to the goal? Like,
doesn't matter.
I know, and it's just annoying because you're sitting there going, like, is that the thing? That's not the reason they scored.
The answer is technically yes. Like, everything that happens in a hockey game leads to the next play, right? It's in the same play, in the same sequence, and every result of what everybody does on the ice leads to the end result, which was a goal.
So if
yes,
a Ducks,
the answer.
If a Ducks player had touched the puck in between, let's say a Ducks player had touched it and gained possession and the Leafs took it back, is it then a reviewable call?
I would say, and I don't know what the rule is, if a Ducks player touches it, and leaves the zone with it, is what.
But if they didn't leave the zone with it,
I think if there's a quick change of possession in the zone, I think you still review that, and
that's
take
fucking
that
insane.
Well, no, because the Mitch Marner touching the puck led to the next result, which led to the next result.
But what if it was? What if it was one of the? Let's say it was Radko Gudas or something, just to name a Ducks defenseman, and he gets it, and he gets to the hash marks, and then Mitch steals it off him again, and gets it behind Matthews, who gets it out to Nyes or something like that. Like, is that how far back we're going to take this? Do you know what I'm saying?
I think hard possession, you could convince me that should be the rule. But is that what happened?
Yeah, no, it's not. But I'm trying to figure out. I guess I think I'm of the opinion that we've overcorrected on instant replay, and it's not because of the Marner thing specifically. If that's a high stick, it's a high stick, whatever. Yeah. But like, I do think it's too much of the story all the time, and this is sports pervasively, like, right? Like, it's everywhere. It always comes down to that, and I just feel like I'm starting to get to the point where it's like I'd like to know where the limit is. Like, it's one of those things, I've talked about this before. There are times where I know the Leafs are offside and they've got the puck in the offensive zone, and I'm like, I sure hope they don't score here.
Oh, I know.
And it ruins the whole thing because you're like, well, if they score here, we know it's coming back. So
the NHL shouldn't be making decisions based on this. But whenever I watch hockey with Leo, my 4-year-old, and the Leafs score, he goes nuts. And then he goes, "Did it count, Daddy?"
yeah.
Because he doesn't know. And also the first game I ever brought him to, there was an offside review and a goalie interference review.
2, yeah. I've taken back.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So that's imprinted on him forever. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just-
there were 2 goals that got called back in a single game. That
I know
doesn't happen
there's
often.
no perfect answer here, but it really does interrupt the entertainment. And I'm you know what, Matt and I's fine, that didn't count. Leafs still get the win. That's great. It's just annoying to watch. I guess it's
a sexy goal too.
It was, but not sexier than your favorite, Steve, Max Domi.
Who is growing on me? Well, except for when he was in the box for an entire period.
It was a swing of weekend of emotions. You know?
Yeah.
It was crazy for Domi.
I'd say generally he's had a good, I don't know, let's throw an arbitrary number out there, last 10 games. The San Jose one was particularly bad. But oh my God. Like,
Good little
okay.
backhand.
So last night during the LFR, I was trying to come up with everyone's superpower. So for Mitch Marner, it's afternoon games. For William Nylander, it's Sweden. Mm-hmm. For Simone Benoit, it's when he plays the Ducks.
So 2 games a year?
Yeah, for Nick Robertson, it's the game after a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
For Max Domi, it's playing Radko Gudas. He hates that man. He hates him viscerally with every fiber of his being. And listen, that was you know how over the years we keep being like, Gudas to the Leafs. It'd be good to get. Oh. Like, players are never cooked right away. But there are signs.
You think? You think with this one?
No, I'm not. I didn't say he's cooked. I'm just saying there's signs.
No. He might have just had a bad game.
I'm telling you, there might be signs. Wow.
Well, apparently he did. The Leafs wanted to sign him before they signed John Klingberg, but he said no. He didn't. He wanted to stay in a warm climate. We don't have palm trees.
No problem with that. Well, you get cooked like that, and the next day it doesn't matter anymore. So.
Jesse,
can I offer you a new superpower for Domi?
Oh,
scoring against bad opponents.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel like you should have went with that.
I should have, because I would love to know what his splits are: playoff opponent versus non-playoff opponent.
I can tell you right now.
Oh,
because he only has 8 this year, right?
8 goals. Yes.
8 goals. Yeah. So let's just do the goals scoring against non-playoff opponents. He's got 2 against Buffalo. Can you keep count for me?
Okay, 2 against Buffalo.
2 against Buffalo. He's got 1 against Pittsburgh. 1 against Calgary. 1 against Philly. 1 against Anaheim. That's 6 of his 8 goals.
That 6 of his 8 is Calgary in a playoff spot right now?
No. St.
Oh,
Louis
well, in that case, here's my finger. This is in the playoff column. Nope. Now it's in the non-playoff column.
You put it over there. No, that's 6.
So all of them are non-playoff?
6 of the 8.
6 of the 8. What are the other 2?
Dallas and Florida.
I would argue that the reason that they're not in the playoffs is because Max Domi eliminated them with his goals. They were so devastating.
100%.
That's what happened to the Sabres. That's what went wrong with the Sabres season.
But Max Domi thrives against a lesser opponent.
He does. He does.
Listen, we all know his deficiencies, but like he has like one of the best. This is sort of like a conversation myself and producer Hayden had about like Nazem Kadri. Like he's a very, very good player, but he's like not going to end up in the Hall of Fame. He has like one of the best non-Hall of Fame mixtapes in NHL history. Domi is like one of the most skilled, deeply flawed players like I've seen. Like just a nightmare defensively. Nightmare. Don't want him taking a ton of point-blank shots. Insane passing ability. Insane hands. Infuriating penalty taker. Like He's a fascinating guy.
I'd love to hear from Montreal fans and what the season was like when he scored 28 goals and had 44 assists for 72 points for them. That
what
year.
season was that?
That was the 18-19 season.
Was that the Kapanen, you fucking
That's
idiot?
exactly. Way to go, Kapanen, you fucking idiot.
I wanted
the best lip reading in NHL history.
Oh yeah.
Way to go. Like, it's never been more obvious what he said.
Yeah, that's an all-time moment.
Yeah, you know what? At the time, I didn't think it was funny. It's funny now.
Like, what was Max Domi like that year? Was it a complete game? Did he have just everything? Defense,
I don't think
offense,
so.
and just scoring machines?
How many penalty minutes he had?
72 points is incredible.
Did he have more points or penalty minutes?
80 penalty minutes. More penalty minutes than points.
Interesting. No, I assume he's always been a flawed player who just like it's not the 72 points even that gets me, because I can see it.
Really?
The 28 goals blows my mind. Blows my mind. I would love to see him pot a few more.
Yeah, because it's in there. He has it in him.
There.
Yeah.
It's there. I think that's maybe the most frustrating thing about that player. Like, you don't see me going, Pontus, come on, just get out your bag of tricks.
Yeah.
Well, it's Domi can do these things.
I'd also like to say that
Shut up.
I'd like to say something else other than sneeze. I'd like to say that I think Lawton and Yarncroke are good line mates for him. I liked that line last night because
It has purpose.
it has purpose, and Yarncroke and Lawton are defensively responsible. So whatever you might lose on the defensive end, you're going to get. And I think it's cool because when you look at the Max Domi goal, where are Lawton and Yarncroke?
In it.
They're
and
right
crashing.
in front of the net.
Yeah, crashing.
And it allowed him to cut across and have that backhand. And really, if a goalie can see that backhand, he probably stops it. But he didn't see it. Can't see it.
No, that's, it's just a wickedly placed backhand. Everything about it was nasty.
Yeah.
Really, really nasty.
Thought it was a good line from those guys. And obviously, you're gonna need to see what that looks like against Florida before you can really test it.
If this is what they acquired Lawton for, I'm a little disappointed.
Same.
Because the whole thing is you got a center, you got a third line center, and that's the role he's supposed to play. You paid so much to get him that it's a little disappointing that he's turned out to be Domi's winger.
I don't think this is what he's going to end up as. And I think,
give him a training camp and perhaps it's different.
well, yeah, but like you also got him for like the playoffs. I think there's a road and away thing, and I think there's a strong opponents versus weaker opponents. I'm not going to evaluate the Leafs as a playoff team based on the lineup they iced against Anaheim,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I know they got 2 games against Florida this week.
Yep.
Are they? Where are they? Is one on the road? Is one at home?
Well, Wednesday
or-
is home,
Wednesday's home.
and then the next one is on the road. And that's not this week because they play Columbus
Yeah.
on Saturday.
We only have a
And
Wednesday and a Saturday.
Those are their only 2 games.
I'm sorry. I thought it was 2 this week.
Yeah, no, this next week on Tuesday they play Florida on the road in Florida.
So I think the lineup. Obviously, I'm going to have eyes on the lineup this week on Wednesday. Shows you how confused I am after the road trip. I could have swore they were playing Tuesday. So they don't play till Wednesday. Cool. I'll enjoy a couple nights. The lineup I got my eyes on, though, is what they do in Florida on the 8th and 9th against the Panthers
Not Wednesday?
and Lightning. I mean, yeah, for sure. But I think we'll learn more from the 2 road games. The 2 road games, I mean, you don't have the you don't have last change,
Yeah.
and everything. So that's the one I got eyes on more. I don't know if that necessarily makes sense. And then there's those final 2 games against Buffalo and Detroit. I think might be impossible to evaluate.
I can't believe, by the way, we're already in April. I just can't believe it. It's crazy.
Yeah, the Leafs
Well,
schedule there, you only got...
We're not actually.
Well,
yeah, we're not in April quite yet. It's still tomorrow. You only got 2 games left against opponents who aren't playing for anything. I feel like that's important for the Leafs in evaluating the way they're going to go into the playoffs. Like every game from now until the 13th against Carolina, and then you got the last ones against Buffalo and Detroit. Everybody there is fighting for a playoff spot.
I want them battle ready.
Yeah, so this is a really good little stretch here for at least these 6 games to see where they're at.
Hell yeah.
And then those last 2, you just rest them.
I want them battle ready.
We got 6 games to evaluate for the Leafs, and we'll see where they're at.
Montreal could be playing for their playoff lives on that final
Everybody
Saturday.
is.
Like,
yeah. Columbus. Yeah.
I think it's cool too that because they want to win the division, because it directly benefits them, that they will be sharp all the way in. Like last season, it was really just about like, can we get Matthews to 70, right?
Which has to hurt you. Like we maybe should have made a bigger deal of that.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
But your priority has to be winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Your priority has to be getting yourself in the best condition to friggin' win.
Well, it's what I mean. Yeah, I guess we're saying the same thing. It sounds like this year they're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to go hard right to the end.
Screw Matthews hitting 70. It would have been cool, but screw it, dude. Like, does anyone going to be like, oh yeah, 69 goals? Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's like what Nylander said. I think it was the other day. It was sort of like he hits 42 goals. It's a career high. And he goes, yeah, I don't care. It's all about the playoffs.
Yeah. Marner at 99 points, whenever that happened.
Mm-hmm.
All these guys are smashing the Leafs record books.
Yes.
In the regular season.
Yep.
And no one cares.
Yeah. Just
Like,
I know. I think
have a deep run.
I think you nailed it, Steve. With like, we should have made a bigger deal about that last year because I don't know if you remember, the Leafs lost 4 straight games to end the season.
Wow, I didn't know it was 4.
They got 1 OT point in their last 4 games,
my God.
and that was it. They lost those 4 games. That's a loss, right? And going into the playoffs, you're cold. You're not playing opponents they're not challenging you because you're not trying to win anything yourselves, and you're all just looking for this singular thing for Matthews that meant nothing to the final score of any of these games, right? And
he didn't get it.
And then he didn't get it, and then everybody was hurt to start the Boston series.
Yeah. Then he's like not playing.
He wasn't playing, and Willie also wasn't
Willie
playing.
And
have been
he probably Matthews was probably hurt in those last couple of games. Probably shouldn't have been playing anyway, right? Like from what I remember.
I'm trying to remember
I forget
what
where
happened.
We learned where he got hurt, and I forget what it was.
I don't remember. Well, because Willie didn't play games 1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah, because
right?
of the migraines.
Yeah, he came back game 4. What did Matthews miss?
I can look it up for you. Just give me a second.
I want to say he missed 2 games too.
He was like,
How did that
he was sick
series
with
go
something
7?
too. He had like some sort of illness.
How did
Remember?
the series go 7? That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. The 4, 5, and 6 games are actually legit, like pretty crazy games. 5 and 6 specifically for the Leafs. The fact that they were able to muscle those out is crazy.
Matthews played
Nice
5
overtime.
games in the series.
So
Wow.
he missed 2.
Yeah, but the last 2, well, game 6, he only played 14 minutes. Remember, he was sitting down for a while, and then game
right.
7, he played 17 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jeez. And that game went to overtime.
We also should talk about the play of John Tavares, who has, with Mitch Marner's contract, John's contract status has gone a little bit under the radar. Darren Dreger said this morning that it'd be something like, if the Leafs can get his next deal in the $6 to $7 million range.
Oh, sign it now.
4 or 5 year deal. This guy has been spectacular. And again, I think the Leafs are waiting on everybody. I saw a report last week where it was like, they're waiting on Tavares and Lorentz for their
seems
extension
strange.
with like till the end of the season. I'm like,
I think someone listens to this show.
yeah. I mean,
I
listen.
feel like I was the only one talking about Lorenz.
No disrespect to Lorentz, who's had a great year, and we can talk about him in a second because I want to focus on JT. But
7 goals.
hey, man, like, you probably are later in the pecking order to John Tavares.
I think good business is good business, and you do good business whenever it presents itself to you.
He has 35 goals.
Yeah.
It would be, if he gets 2 more, it will be his second highest ever as a Leaf. His first season, he had 47. His last season as an Islander, he had 37. So it could be second. I think his second highest in career goals, other than that 47, is a 38.
He's been so good.
He could hit 40 goals this year.
And really low-key, like, he's been closing out games. The Leafs still don't use him on the penalty kill. But 6-on-5, there's just less room out there, and there's more board battles. And he's so great at them and the face-offs. You need that skill set out there. Like, just what a useful, versatile player still. His game doesn't always look sexy, which is why I think people maybe underappreciate him a little bit. And the dollar amount, right? 11 mil. And for 11 mil, you expect Artemi Panarin, Austin Matthews, right? Maybe he's not. Maybe he was there once, but he's still like such an unbelievably useful player. I think he's going to go up in popularity when he resigns.
I think so too, because it'll feel like a discount, assuming it's not crazy. If it's like 8 million, people are gonna be like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
I like to think it'd be a great boost heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, it just seems like the Leafs are bound to determine that they want to keep as flexible as possible going into the offseason. They just don't, and I don't blame them for that. I understand the want to get this guy signed up, and I get it, but you've got an opportunity here. If the Leafs are out in the first round again, and you've already locked everybody up, well, now you got guys like Steve Dangle going, hey, it doesn't work, and you just did it again.
Oh, I hate that prick.
Yeah.
That guy's,
That
guy's the worst.
So you do kind of, I will give the Leafs credit for going, you know what? Let's just see how it goes.
Well,
have we ever tried that before? We never tried that.
I enjoy it as a fan for that reason, but also we don't have to do the whole negotiating through the media thing.
Yes.
It made the team more likable.
Yeah, of course. Jess, what did you pull up?
Oh, correction on the Matthews game log for the playoffs. I had the games that he played incorrect. So he plays games 1 through 4, and 4 is the one where he only played 14 minutes, and he missed games 5 and 6, and he comes back for 7.
Okay.
That's how the playoff timeline with Matthews went.
Okay.
And he had an assist in game 7.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, let's hope he doesn't miss the games 5 and 6.
Yeah. Hell did they push that to 7? Ah!
Yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy. Now, you could almost argue that they probably shouldn't address Matthews and Nylander for game 7. Is just like,
I don't think you can actually.
Yeah.
What did they ever do? Nylander only scored and Matthews only got an assist.
For the
can
crowd,
argue
can you explain who they are?
Argue that you don't allow a pass that goes right off the boards and then right on to pass.
We don't need to do this.
And then right past the goaltender. Maybe
no,
don't allow that awesome pass by Boston.
That or the first goal that goes in, like Sammy. Man, we openly groaned when Amazon had their press conference to start off the year. They played the first chunk of the face-off series, and it's William Nylander and David Pastrnak, and all the playoff goals against Sammy. It's like, oh no.
No player looked worse with less effort. Like the Amazon editors were just like, so here's a goal. And like,
here's another goal.
No commentary or nothing. You just watch it and you're like, muffin.
Yeah.
Gentle spring breeze.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But then at the time, we defended Sammy because you can't win game 1 where you score 1 goal. You can't win game 7 where you score 1 goal. Like, the team didn't score.
It is funny, though, that they did win a lot when they won their games in that series, mostly when Joseph Woll was in net. I remember when he fell over at the end of the game with a second to go.
Yeah.
And then couldn't play.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Man, if people are like, why are you guys so upset? Yo, man.
You shouldn't ask that.
Why aren't you? Hello, Canada. Am I allowed to say that? Hello, Canada?
Hello, Canada.
McDonald's just dropped some new breakfast menus that you're going to love, and we're eating them right now. The Smoky Maple Bacon and Egg McMuffin, the Smoky Maple Sausage and Egg McGriddle, which Steve has, and then the Smoky Maple Chicken Sandwich, which Jesse has, made with real Canadian maple syrup, available now for a limited time till mid-April. Whether you're on your way to work or kind of getting off the night shift, or maybe you woke up craving something delicious, you got to give them the try. So, Steve, tell me about the Smoky Maple Sausage and Egg McGriddle.
I'm just licking this, the maple syrup right now. It is makes me feel patriotic.
Okay, Jesse.
So I got chicken, cheese, the maple syrup, real Canadian maple syrup.
Bite it.
So delicious.
Bite it.
Wow. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear the crunch. You can hear the crunch. Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, that's what I avoided.
Adam told me to do it.
Yeah. No.
Now
you
that I
gotta
know I
take
don't
a bite.
have to.
Absolutely.
Delicious.
Absolutely. So here's the deal. They're available for limited time, but only until 11 a.m. every morning. So don't wait. Try one in-store with McDelivery, or better yet, comment on our Instagram post until midnight tonight. March 31st is when this contest ends. Tag a coworker. Make sure you're following it at SDPN Sports, and you could win a McDonald's Maple Breakfast Sandwich for your office. Woo! Not just one for your office, multiple for your office.
They're not just going to drop off a single one.
No,
they've got to all split it.
They're going to give you plenty. They're going to give you plenty. And the Maple Breakfast Sandwiches are available until April 14th at participating McDonald's. All right. Now, let's talk a little bit about, I want to do like a playoff picture in a second, but first I want to talk about the Panthers and Canadians, which Caden Gooley called, he's like, oh, it's a playoff game. It's a playoff game. And I was like, Caden, you haven't been to the playoffs.
Well,
but I respect that it was intensity.
Yeah.
I respect that it was intensity. And I want to talk about the specific Niko Mikkola play, because Niko Mikkola has been fined $5,000.
Oh, was he?
For this play, but it was not a suspension. And it was with 2 seconds to go. And it looks like a slap shot of frustration from his own end, but it almost hit a couple Montreal Canadiens.
Well, it's intent to injure.
Well, sure, sir.
He wasn't trying to score.
Shut up.
Well, he was.
What? Okay, go ahead, Jesse, for the class. What was he trying to do?
I don't think it's intent to injure. I don't think he was aiming the puck at like anybody's head.
But there happened to be 5 Montreal Canadiens in front of him.
No, he was shooting at the goaltender, was he not?
No, I'll send it over.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. Like
it's so.
Was the goalie in the corner?
Intent to injure that has a connotation that he was like spearing somebody in the head. You know,
he
like
shot a puck at a player.
He cross-checked somebody.
But he wound up and he held it for the meter. Like, you know, in baseball, how you've got like that, baseball video games, you've got that meter, your power meter. He held for the entire wham, nailed it. And what was kind of crazy, it was good to see, Brendan Gallagher on the ice getting involved in that. I don't know that the Canadians have the horses to take the Panthers on physically. Quite in the same way. Like, you've got Jack-Eye and stuff.
But you do have Arbor Jack-Eye.
Yeah, who will fight anybody.
Yes, he will.
But it's, Niko Mikkola is a monster. He's huge.
He is.
And I think he did this.
Killed him, though.
I think he did this. And Jesse, if you go the clip I sent you, go to second 56, because it's a nice shot from the Montreal end, and you could see how many Montreal Canadiens are actually in the way of this shot. It's kind of nuts. All the Canadians,
Alfredson Niedermeyer.
All the Canadians are south of Mikkola in this shot, meaning like they're all in front of it. Could have hit any of them. And
it's so greasy.
It's crazy.
There's just some things that you don't do. In hockey, it's like, well, hey, listen, you can punch a man, but don't, followed by a short list of things.
Yes.
And this is on that list.
Often arbitrary, but this one makes sense. Right?
It makes perfect sense.
All right. Now, Jess, can we bring this up on the screen there, Hayden? Okay. So there's Mikkola. You can already see the shot has, I believe, happened. And I believe...
there's the puck.
The puck is right at center. So...
And David Savard is like, what?
And then, and what's crazy is I don't know who the center is. I think it's Suzuki.
That could have friggin'...
Doesn't see it. He's got his back to him.
It gets him in the back of the... Jesse, I cannot believe you're on Mikkola's side on this.
No, it's a tad dramatic the way you guys are like...
Look at
portraying...
Put it a second ahead and look at what's happening to Savard.
An NHL player taking a slap shot across the ice. You guys are acting like a Canadian could have died.
Look at Savard.
Oh, stop.
Look at Savard. Go fast forward just a little bit. Just put it forward like 1 second if you can. So, okay.
Cross-check a guy in the neck. It's fine. He's unlikely to die.
Savard has to dive out of the way.
Okay, so Jesse,
Savard,
answer this question.
Shots.
Yes or no, does Niko Mikkola suck at hockey?
No.
Then where the fuck is this shot going? Where's this puck going?
He shot it down to the other end.
He shot it directly at Savard. He shot it directly at David Savard.
He shot it down to the other end of the ice.
I'll shoot my foot across the other end of this table, Jesse.
Jesse, you should have gone to the hearing this morning and defending him.
I don't understand the pearl clutching. Like that's
clutching.
That's a little weird.
Well, he wasn't. First off, the guy at center ice is not looking. So that part for me is like Savard has got time to get out of the way, but like the guy's legit looking back at Montembeault. He's not looking at Mikkola.
Jesse,
so
who's your favorite defenseman on the New York Rangers?
On the New York Rangers?
Yeah, because I know you're a Rangers fan. Who's your favorite defenseman on the New York Rangers?
It's hard to pick a Rangers defenseman I like. Historically, I've always liked Keandre Miller.
Cool. I hope he eats a slap shot at the end of the Rangers next
Backwards.
game. Backwards.
Hey, what if somebody
Completely
did that?
I don't.
Jesse, what if
I'm
that
not
was-
on a lot of sleep right now.
What was it? What if
He
that
has
was,
no idea it's coming.
what if that was Ethan Cardwell?
Yeah.
Our boy.
What? No,
If
what?
someone
boy, Ethan
shot
Cardwell.
that puck at Ethan Cardwell,
Our guy, Ethan Cardwell, who we love.
I don't understand the necessary pearl clutching, as I called it, for a slap shot to the. I think it's unsportsmanlike conduct. You shouldn't do this. It's dangerous. But I'm not like, oh my God, these poor Canadians. They almost all lost their lives because of this slap shot.
Lost their lives.
Along
Anybody
the
has
ice
said
from Mikkola. Oh, what happened to our game?
what if
I
Savard
think
eats
so
this in peace?
dangerous
that?
now.
what if
It's a little
Savard
weird.
gets a nice vulcanized rubber sandwich right in the mouth? What if that happens?
Do you think that was close to happening?
I think if Mikkola had his way, it would have. Yeah.
You think that? I don't think it was intent to injure. I think it was intent to slap a puck down the other end of the ice and be a dickhole and unsportsmanlike in the situation. But injure?
If you take a slap shot intentionally in someone's direction, you are aiming to hurt them.
What's the level of hurt we're talking about here?
Hurt.
Okay, what's the level of hurt? Because there's different degrees of hurt.
So
a hockey player getting hit with a puck in a shin.
Yeah, in the shin, still not great, but they have a shin pad. Justin Bourne, I just got to the end of his book. He took a slap shot when he was playing directly to the face. It broke his jaw.
That's
and he had his
terrible.
jaw wired shut.
Terrible. That's terrible.
And that was an accident.
Yes.
That was a slap shot that wasn't aimed at him.
Hey,
So what if this, I know it was from farther away. What if it hits him right
So
in the
what
face?
do you want to be done here? You want Mikkola suspended?
Well, at very least fined, and he was.
Yeah, I think the correct punishment was handed out.
Oh, yeah, no, we're not talking about the punishment. I'm talking about he's a fucking grease
I
bag.
think
agree.
there is going to be a fight in the first 10 seconds.
Jack Guy should pummel his face.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
They should both be in the starting
But I'm
lineup.
not fearful for the lives of the Canadians.
I'm not fearful for their lives.
I don't
fucking
think
hurt
I
them.
think
Everybody's fearful of their
Mikkola should have been fined.
Oh, my
He's a
goodness.
dick for doing this. Don't do it. It's dangerous. But yeah, that's cool.
I tell you what though, if this does connect with Savard, if I'm the trainer, I race onto the
Bring the
ice
stretcher out.
and I tell him, I go, stay down. And the next day, I'm Kent Hughes. I have him do a Zoom press conference from the hospital. I am trying to get my divisional rivals suspended for as long as possible. I have him take a mask off to answer the questions. I think I'm doing okay, and I'm serious. Yeah, ham it up. It's about time. I'm so sick of teams like the Panthers. I'm so sick of this. It's about time we start fighting back. Take the fall. Act hurt. Get indignant. Producer Hayden has something to say.
I was just going to say, you guys mentioned Jack Guy. Jack Guy's not the guy I send after Mikkola. It's Pizzetta, because he's insane.
Oh,
Zeta is insane. He's insane to go after a guy who has the height advantage on him.
That's the thing. He doesn't have the size, right?
Yeah,
Like Mikkola's got the wingspan. He's got the Pizzetta's nuts, crazy enough to do it, but you got to send Jack Guy in.
I think what's funny about that scenario is those two fight, and then for the next face-off, Jack Guy's like, and I'm still here. Who's he going after? Who's he taking a clap bomb at? He's going to take a clap bomb at whoever the right defenseman is.
Yeah.
Which means it's probably going to hit the left. Because what?
Wow, that reminds me.
I'm a Leaf fan. I got to take shots at both of them.
All right, so let's
I
have a
hope the
look.
Canadians get into the playoffs here and knock off Florida.
Yeah, so
Oh, that'd be fun.
Well, Florida have to win the division to do that, but we'll see.
the Rangers beat San Jose. The Canadians beat Florida, so they're still tied. And the thing is, the Canadians have a game in hand.
What a war zone.
So it's crazy. So the Canadians are ahead of the Rangers for that second wild card spot. Columbus has 2 games in hand on New York and 1 game in hand on Montreal. They have 75 points. Man. So the games that they play this week, including one against Toronto, are going to be huge. And listen, don't look now, but Detroit about 3 points out, and so are the Islanders.
I'm not looking. I am looking, and it's not going to happen.
I know. I don't think so either, but I'm trying to listen. They're in it. To say that they're not would be a fallacy, but I think they're less in it. Now, when you look at the playoff picture, if the playoffs were to start today, okay, you'd have the Caps and Canadiens, Leafs and Senators, Lightning and Panthers, and Hurricanes and Devils. I think the series I would be most excited for would be the All Florida. I think it would be just absolutely outstanding.
That is a fantastic first round. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Battle of Ontario, Battle of Florida, Habs, Caps, Redux, and the Hurricanes and Devils really low-key hate each other.
And you know who you have to thank for that?
Who?
Gary. You're welcome, said Gary.
Damn.
Sorry,
I meant its ass.
If we seeded this the way that they used to do it, it would still be Caps, Canadiens. It'd be Hurricanes, Senators. It'd be Leafs, Devils. And then the All-Florida matchup would still happen.
Jesse, can you arrange from best to worst in goal differential?
Sure.
Because the Habs being minus 26 is insane.
There are only 9+ teams. That's in the Eastern Conference.
Wait. The Habs have the 4th worst goal differential in the East?
Yeah, they were bad at the beginning of the year.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And here they are. Wow.
One thing I saw Sabres fans talking about this weekend on Twitter was that they have the exact same amount of regulation wins as the Montreal Canadiens and a better goal differential. And the only differentiator between the Sabres and the Canadiens is overtime wins.
Well, I'm going to have to give that 9 damn that's crazies out of 10. Because
the response to that should be like, that's how it works.
It's encouraging for next year, but it didn't do shit for you this year.
No, you're last in the East for a reason.
That's a little bit of FML right there.
Yeah.
That's poor Sabres fans.
Yeah,
man.
but if you were able to get it done in those overtimes and shootouts, like you could be in a position fighting for a playoff spot because the bottom of the East is so bad. None of these teams have been good in this entire stretch of like last 2 weeks of March. Like they've all consistently gone on mini losing streaks.
There might be an Eastern Conference playoff team this year that doesn't crack 90. It's possible.
Oh yeah.
What is Montreal?
Very
have?
possible. 77 points. Like,
jeez,
they might not even get close and still make the playoffs.
That's crazy
because of how bad all of these teams have been. Like the Islanders, who were in prime position like 8 days ago to take that spot where they had games in hand. All they needed to win a couple games, lose 3 in a row.
That's why I think
like,
you're crazy for writing off Detroit because. Listen, it's unlikely, but it's super duper doable.
Mm-hmm. But Detroit's been bad for a month and a half.
That too.
Mm-hmm. And like all the teams in between them. And Detroit's had their opportunities. Like they were in that playoff spot for so long, and all they had to do was just kind of be average, and then they stunk.
Yeah. Just be normal. And they're like, we simply can't. By the way, the team with the hottest record in the Eastern Conference at the moment are the Carolina Hurricanes, 8-2-0 in their last 10. Very quietly doing pretty well since Mikko Rantanen left town.
We owe Mr. Tulski a little bit of an apology. Not us necessarily. The collective hockey world. Dude, Mark Jankowski has 7 goals as a Hurricane.
And I'm sure Eric Tulski was like, this is what's gonna happen.
Here's the big get. No, they I think if you gave them truth serum, they would have liked to flip some of those futures into something that could help them a little bit more now.
But they seem to be doing okay with it.
They're doing just fine.
Yeah, and on the Western side.
So with the East, you brought up the standings based on just 1 through 8. It's ridiculous. Like the Leafs should be playing the Devils in this playoffs, like based on where they are. And like that would be such an advantage for them because of how injured the Devils are and how inconsistent they've been over the last little while. Ottawa also might pass them in the standings.
I think they are going to.
If it was
the
1
Devils?
through 8, if it was, they can't pass them in the standings in terms of the playoff positioning. But if it was 1 through 8, like Ottawa could pass them. And like the Devils haven't been good, and the Leafs going into that series, I think would be heavily favored.
Yep.
And they don't get that because of the weird, stupid way everything's organized.
What was more fun about 1 through 8 that I remembered is the standings change so aggressively every day. And today the Leafs are playing the Sens.
Yeah.
Oh, but then it's the Devils or it's the Flyers or what? Sorry, this is an old memory I'm talking about. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And for the last few years, this year is fun for sure. But for the last few years, what Leaf fans have gotten is, all right, well, we know they're playing this team, and it's Valentine's Day. So let's all buckle up for the next 2 months of nothing.
Well, yeah, there was it was like, well, they're preparing to play the Bruins from January on, and I don't like that either. Gary is high and mighty on that. He loves that about himself. He's the only one that likes it. Not even the teams like
Gary's
it.
just a bunch of talking points in a suit.
No, but this actually, that's one of the things, though, apparently that gives him great pride is that playoff format. He thinks it's revolutionary. And, the thing about revolutions is that normally they're like the start of one little thing and then everybody else jumps on board of the revolution. Have you noticed anybody else jumping on this revolution?
No other league does anything this goofy.
Of course not, because it's stupid. But Gary believes it's a revolutionary concept and that the first round is better for it. And I just, you get less sweeps or something. I don't know. I think he's full of shit on that one. But it's the commissioner's choice, and he gets to make that call, I guess. Mm-hmm. And nobody wants to go against him on that because they'll get reprisals elsewhere. Probably. Maybe
it was to make rivalries. But you know what makes rivalries? Like hatred.
Yeah.
Playing against each other. You know who I considered a rival growing up? The Sabres, the Flyers, the Sens, the Devils. I hated all those teams.
Yeah.
Because the Leafs played against them. And when I was very, very young, it was the Blues and it was the Blackhawks because the Leafs used to be in the West.
Yeah.
And the Red Wings.
Even played the Sharks
both
once.
The Leafs and Red Wings were in the West. Sorry?
Yeah. Even played the Sharks in the playoffs in the second round once.
They did. They played Arturs Urbe
and
the San Jose Sharks in I think it was the 94 playoffs. And yeah, Leaf fans got their Urbe chants. You could find it on YouTube. They weren't like, who is that? Who is
Actually,
that?
you should.
They were into it.
People do post the entire games, like all the early 90s playoff games are all posted, I think probably illegally, but no one cares, on YouTube, and they're awesome. I love I love having them on in the background. I'll put them on my TV or whatever, and just the game is completely different now. It's like a completely different game, but really fun to watch. And Toronto had a loud stadium.
Oh,
can you imagine?
What is that like?
They had a loud stadium. If the playoffs started today, and I think this won't change too much, the only thing that's going to change, I think, in the West, it's not which teams, it's just in what order. The Minnesota Wild, sorry, Hayden, have fallen to the first wild card spot. They are now tied with the St. Louis Blues, although they do have a game in hand. So if it started today, it would be Jets Blues, it would be Golden Knights Wild, it would be Stars Avalanche, and it would be Kings Oilers. And I know, for me personally, the fourth year in a row of Kings Oilers, I'm sure Kings fans and Oilers fans might be a little tired of it, although Oilers fans have been, blessed in that matchup. That is going to be an exciting one. Mm-hmm. I am very, very much also looking forward to the Mikko Rantanen versus the Avalanche series. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah.
If this were correctly seeded, like a real league, it would be Jets Blues, Stars Wild, Golden Knights Oilers, oh baby, and Colorado Los Angeles, which would also be a good series.
Mm-hmm. This doesn't have a chance of happening, but Oilers Blues would be fun just for the offer sheet narrative.
Well, maybe they meet.
Maybe they do meet because listen, okay, Jets fans aren't going to want to hear this because the Jets, look at them.
Jesse wants to hear this.
Plus 83 goal differential.
He cut himself off before he even made the point. So
no,
he's getting there.
I'm getting there.
Let him get there.
Let me paint a picture. The Jets are stupid, preposterous good. They might end up with like 120 points. But they haven't been great in the playoffs in recent memory, and they're about to take on the hottest, easily, far and away, no one's denying. They're the hottest team in the NHL with a crazy hot goalie too. If you're the President's Trophy winner, which they just might be, that's a nightmare scenario.
I think they're going to face the Wild. The Wild
Well-
looks like they're going to drop down to that second one.
I think so.
Like
Now-
Hayden, my condolences.
you guys are so busted. Like it hasn't been great.
No,
Why hasn't anyone been able to pass them? You know what? Like I know
they had a great
Because
start.
nobody's been good until St. Louis got good. Like they're the only ones amongst those teams that have really had a great stretch of hockey. And now that that's finally happened, Minnesota continues to fall down the standings. St. Louis is coming up.
By the way, here, can you go back to that page? No.
Oh, conference one?
Yeah, scroll down a bit.
Yeah.
When did NHL.com start putting E next to the eliminated teams?
Yeah.
I don't remember
a little
that.
feature there.
It used to be not that. Wow.
Can you eliminate each of these teams? Maybe like a boom, but like eliminate or something?
Oh.
Or cut or something.
Oh, Seattle Kraken, I'm sorry your season died. Let's gonna get that 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Same with the Preds, Blackhawks, and Sharks.
Also worth mentioning that in the Western Conference, it's really have and have not. That's why you're seeing some goofy points.
Yeah.
Because there are, three of the NHL's, the 4 bottom teams in the NHL who are all already eliminated are all in the Western Conference. So when you see points that are a little bit out of whack, and that happens every year, you've got great teams at the top and terrible teams at the bottom, and that's why the Jets are at 106 points, because you can argue some of the competition's a bit easier when you're playing more games against bad teams. I will make that argument.
What is happening right now?
But I also want to
Tell
point
that
out
to the got swept by the Sharks Leafs.
the best teams in the West have been on fire. There are only, do not pull up this, Hayden. There are only 2 teams in the West in the playoff picture in the last 10 games that do not have at least 7 wins.
Okay.
Name them.
2 teams in the West playoff picture, Canucks?
No, West playoff picture. Like,
Oh,
as
like
they're
literally in the playoffs
yeah.
right now? I mean, the Wild.
Who's the other one?
Oilers.
Hey! So the Jets are 7-3-0. The Stars are 7-1-2. The Avs are 7-2-1. The Golden Knights are 7-1-2. The Kings are 7-3-0, and the St. Louis Blues are 9-1-0. And then the Oilers and Wild are the same, 5-4-1 in their last 10. Isn't that crazy?
That's insane.
That's all your good teams being really good, and that's why it's so hard to pass anyone. And it's crazy because they're all kind of like, hey, we're winning a bunch of games, but so are the rest of those guys. Damn it. You can't take advantage.
You're just playing to be in your best form for the playoffs because you're not making up any ground.
Exactly. Now, Alexander Ovechkin is at 890 goals. He scored again last night. For those keeping track, that is 5 goals away from the record. And last week, he had a really nice gesture. The Minnesota Wild were taking on the Capitals, and at the end of the game, Ovi made the entire Capitals shake hands with Marc-Andre Fleury, which I think was pretty sweet. And longtime rivals there.
I don't know why Ovi's always making this point.
What's the point?
Well, it's just he's always bringing up the Penguins.
Stop it. Alexander Ovechkin now probably a week and a half away from beating Wayne Gretzky.
You think so? So it's 5 goals away from sole possession of the record.
Yeah, he'll tie
He's
it in
4
4
to tie Gretzky, though.
Yeah.
Which I think
doesn't matter to anybody.
Yeah, no one cares about the tie.
it's still insane.
No,
I know what you mean.
I feel like we should make a big deal about him tie, because then do you have at that point, what does that mean? When you tie it, you're first.
You're tied for the record.
Yeah, you're first. If you look at the all-time goals, that should mean as much as like.
Nah.
And then sole possession
He
means
won.
more, but like you're 1T. Yeah.
It's weird. Like if he scores 894 and then decides I'm not having fun anymore and I want to retire at 894, it would still feel like Gretzky's record.
Yes.
But
Because he was the first one to set it.
if he gets 895, no.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
The NHL made a side website for the Great Chase, which is pretty cool. Hayden, if you want to bring it up there, it has a little countdown at the top. It has all the most recent games and the upcoming games, and you can watch highlights from each goal that just happened. And then they have all the Caps highlights, and then there's easy access to pages like Gordie Howe's stats, Gretzky stats, Ovechkin's career stats, and then also the all-time goal leaders lists and all of the NHL stat packs, NHL Edge stats. And they also have this little cool video that I'll play right now, which we can't because there's no footage in it, but it's the career goals leaders of all time. So it takes you through who held the record throughout the history of the NHL, minimum 100 games from when they started
Joe Malone.
the NHL.
Cy
Steve,
Denny.
if you want to narrate this and the numbers and who held it
Howie Morenz,
for everybody listening.
1933.
At 271.
271 goals. That's unbelievable. 1937, Nels Stewart with 324 goals. Played for the Montreal Maroons, Boston Bruins, New York Americans. Maurice Richard, 1952, 544. The record takes a leap.
He held it for a long time.
Held it for quite a while. 1963, Gordie Howe, 801. And this went, holy crap, for a long time.
Wayne.
Until Wayne Gretzky, March 23rd, 1994, shows up with 894. And that brings us all the way to today, where it remains unbroken for now.
That's a cool graphic. I
Yeah,
really like that.
I thought it was really cool, and the NHL is doing a great job with just all the extra digital content around this. There's even a career highlights. And number one, I think it's probably the greatest goal ever scored in NHL history. Alexander Ovechkin falling to the ice and scoring that goal against the Coyotes.
And that's back when he could have a tinted visor.
Yes,
Before they were like, no, you can't.
It's
Stop.
crazy that he's going to break the goal record. He scored this goal as a rookie, and he still never topped it.
No.
Nobody can top this in anything.
No. No.
It's incredible.
Capitals take on the Bruins tomorrow. I believe the Bruins record is abysmal lately. I've got to have a quick look at it here. I saw a stat. Yeah, 2-7-1 in their last 10. They have lost 5 straight games. So you hope that Ovi can score in that one. And
Those
then
guys are going to get Misa, and I'm going to be really pissed.
they also play the Hurricanes on Wednesday, the Capitals Friday, and the Islanders Sunday. So
Capitals play the Capitals?
the Blackhawks Friday, the Islanders Sunday. So it's Bruins, Hurricanes, Blackhawks, Islanders. So maybe I'm wrong.
He might have a better chance if he was playing against the Capitals. They gave up 8 to Buffalo.
It won't be. It won't be next week. It'll probably be. It might be Sunday.
Would you put it past Ovechkin to get his first 5-goal game to break the record?
No, I wouldn't. I could see it. That wouldn't like that is. It's one of those things that you're just not surprised by, right? It's like that's really cool that it happened, but would you be shocked? No, I would be shocked.
Here's how good he is. I said his first 5-goal game. I'm not confident that's true. He might have scored 5.
I'm looking it up.
I don't know. There's been a very small handful of 5-goal games in the time I've been making videos.
Yeah, I
don't know if
how
he
to look
has
it up.
one.
Yeah, he might. Oh, here we go. List of players with 5 or more goals in an NHL game.
Oh, there you go.
Does it list like how recent?
Tage, Thompson, Timo Meyer, Mika Zibanejad. Yeah, this is all recent.
Nice.
Johan Franzen had one.
That Zibanejad game was insane. I forgot about that one.
Marian Gaborik, Sergei Fedorov, Miro Lemieux, Alexander. I don't think he's ever had one.
Wow.
And there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in NHL history who have scored 5 or more goals in multiple games.
What?
Gotta be Gretzky.
So Gretzky's one of them.
Gotta be Lemieux.
That's the other one. And they're second to one other person. So Gretzky and Lemieux did it 4 times each. You'll never get the first one.
Oh, okay.
But he was one of the all-time, I think, goal
Cy
scorers.
Denny.
Mike Bossy?
Not Cy Denny. No.
Richard?
No.
And it's not Howe.
Oh, Richard got it, but he got it twice.
Oh.
It's not Howe. No, it's not Howe.
And then who was
So
who's the first guy?
no, so it's Joe Malone had 5.
Oh, Joe Malone.
And then Gretzky, Lemieux, and then Newsy Lalonde.
Hey.
Yeah.
I love
And then
Newsy.
Babe Dye did it twice.
Babe die.
Richard did it twice. Sittler did it twice. Trottier did it twice.
Hap Day is not there?
Hap Day is not on there. It is one of the only stats I've ever seen where only Canadians own it.
Wow.
Only Canadians.
Montreal or people from Canada?
No, people from Canada.
Okay.
Malone's not?
Malone's from Canada.
Oh. Who am I thinking of? Wow. That is,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah, and some of those, it's so old that it's got the pre-Maple Leaf Canadian flag, the one with the little British flag in the background. There's been 2 Canadian flags. and they changed ours in the 60s to the Canadian flag you see today. Malone, Lalonde, Dye, and Richard are all under the old flag on Wikipedia.
It was only when Canada was like a colony.
Yeah, well, no, we were still a country.
I know.
Okay, the other one, not to be
I went
outdone,
to school, Adam. I know.
Not to be outdone. Another Gretzky record was broken, this time by Sidney Crosby. Wayne Gretzky's NHL record was broken to his 20th point per game season. This is Sidney Crosby. And it's incredible considering Sidney Crosby, this is his 80th point of the season. He was pretty injured going into Four Nations. Could barely shoot. And
that wasn't even the season I was going to bring up.
what were you going to bring?
Well, all of the seasons that like he basically had robbed from him
Concussions.
because of concussions and the neck injury, which people forget about. It was, I want to say it was like an undiagnosed or underdiagnosed neck injury. It's unreal. Crosby's career even was able to keep going after 2012, and here he is 13 years later. He's played more seasons since the injury than before.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. He's 37 years old, 1,676 points. He has 324 from 2000, which I think that's the better stat. You know what I mean? Like, that's how close he is. It's pretty, not bad. You feel like you got a lot of seasons left. 17 points in 12 games since the Four Nations face-off.
One of the few players who was hot the moment they started playing games after the Four Nations. Honestly, it was like him and Binnington. Brady Tkachuk, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of guys struggled, though, coming out. Oh, and Tkachuk missed games, too. Mm-hmm. So maybe not Tkachuk.
Yeah. And then the last one I wanted to get to here before we do the press conference is Leon Draisaitl came back and hit 50 goals. And Steve, you care about this the most of anybody at this table. For what reason?
I have him in fantasy, and I am happy to report he saved my season.
Oh, you were going to get eliminated.
I was dead to rights. I'm in the final. I'm definitely going to lose, but
wow.
I'm there. I'm projected to lose by like 30 points, but I'm there. I'm in it. Thank you, Leon, for 2 goals and 1 assist. Power play goal, or I don't know if he had power play points. He had the game-winning goal, which is also worth points.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for saving mine and I'm sure countless other seasons by showing up on a Saturday.
It's kind of nuts that he comes back from injury and it's like, here's a couple goals and an assist. Just outrageous.
Oh, ho-hum. Oh, he's in playoff form then. Ow, everything hurts.
Better score.
It's my strength. He's like a Saiyan. The more you beat his ass, the stronger he gets.
Do you guys have a Hart Trophy favorite for the season so
Leon.
far?
Yeah, Leon.
Yeah?
I mean, I would put Dustin Wolf in there. I think we talked about that a few times, right?
And not if
Like
they
a-
miss the playoffs.
Like a vote, though? Would you give him like a fifth place vote or something?
No. I got.
You wouldn't even give him a
I have
vote?
5, I think, above Wolf.
Okay, who do you got?
Somewhere, this is not in order, but the 5 to me would be Kucherov, McKinnon, Draisaitl, and then Hellebuck gets in there.
Oh.
And then
That's gotta kill you.
like I wanna lean to Quinn Hughes just because all of he's done as like the single
No, there's no
sole-
way.
much.
the
No
single
way.
sole producer of offense for the Canucks, but he hasn't. They haven't been good enough, I guess. So I'd have to figure out the 5th. Maybe it's Wolf, but I don't think so.
You think Marner gets any votes?
Martin would be interesting, like just
he's
for
5th
yeah,
in
for
the
how much
NHL.
he's held up the Leafs for that stretch when he was the only player going for them.
You should get a vote or two.
Makar is an interesting case, but he plays with McKinnon, so that's hard to do it.
What if the Blue Jackets make it?
That's what I was about to say next. If the Blue Jackets sneak in the playoffs, I think Zach Werenski deserves that 5th spot. So it's kind of dependent on who's making the playoffs in the bottom part. But I think one of those players on those lesser teams that have been holding up their teams deserves one of those Hart Trophy votes. And I think it might be Werenski if the Blue Jackets can sneak in.
Is Jesper Bratt like the most underrated player in the league?
Yes, easily.
That's crazy.
Yes.
He's, what is it, 8th?
9th the league in scoring. Yeah, 20 goals, 66 assists.
And how many Devils do you talk about before him?
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of, well, assuming everyone's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He there were games for Sweden I thought he was their best player. That's a crazy player.
So you guys are leaning Leon just because of the goal scoring?
I think
It was Leon before the injury for me, and yeah, like McDavid's been regular. Like, I mean, by his standards, he's still
He doesn't have 160 points this year?
Yeah, he's a top 10 scorer. He's unbelievable. But like, he's been the best Oiler.
Sure, but you got players on better teams with better performances.
Does Kyle Connor sneak a couple votes in?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But I'm
Unless
giving that
team-
vote to Hellebuck over Connor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If Team USA's coaching staff is voting on it, he probably doesn't. Thank you for that. Every Canadian wants to thank you for scratching him in the final. That's the
moronic.
Best
We'll take it.
bounce Canada got at that tournament. That was really dumb.
Yeah.
So best player on best team is you gotta lean Jets and Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah.
If you're going top point getter on a top playoff team, it's Kucherov or McKinnon, depends on who wins that battle. They're tied at 109 right now.
Wow.
So that's an interesting case.
Wow.
If you want to go best goal scorer, the guy who's I think done the most for his team just because of who is on his team, and Connor McDavid, who hasn't been Connor McDavid, but Leon Draisaitl has been amazing. Like that, you probably lean Draisaitl then. So there's a case for different guys here. It's an interesting Hart Trophy year.
You got to use your imagination a little bit, and like, we know what the Oilers are good at. We know what they're bad at. And without Leon, like, do they even make the playoffs? And like, I'm not even kidding. He's that good.
But you can say that about any team, right? McKinnon, do the Avalanche make the playoffs?
Oh, definitely not.
Right. So you got the same cases in a couple different instances.
Yeah.
Kucherov's a little different, but with Kucherov, like he's scoring points at like a rate nobody else on the Lightning is.
Yeah. Have you considered, though, screw that guy?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I just think we should screw that guy into
He
consideration.
could have. So
That's
wait,
true.
he's tied for the league lead in points.
Yes.
McKinnon and Kucherov both have
Again.
109 points.
So that means
Again.
Kucherov passed up the chance to pass and become the sole leader when he passed up that empty net the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. They eventually got one, but yeah, that was egregious. And he's also done it in less games. So he's done it in 69 games. McKinnon has done it in 74 games.
And the Lightning have not taken up a lot of the headlines this year the way that they have in previous years. They've been really good. Like, seriously.
Oh, we know.
I'm still going to say screw that guy, but also he's really sick.
I don't know why Vasilevsky might be the league's most disrespected superstar. Like, I don't know what your criteria is for star versus superstar, but like
Big pads.
He was there's that. He was
That's
the
my criteria.
best goalie in the world for like half a decade, and he has like an off season and a half. Oh shit! Lost the series to the Leafs. This guy sucks.
And he was injured.
And then he's right back to it.
Yeah.
He's right back to being one of the best goalies in the world, and no one.
I'm curious about if that Lightning and Panthers series goes ahead, because I know Bobrovsky's been a little not the Bobrovsky we've seen the last couple of years lately. But I also think part of that is, I mean, what are we doing? Like, are we going to do this now, or are we going to do this in round one?
You can't floor it every day.
You can't.
Well, I would love you to, and it's fun to think that you can.
But you can't.
Yeah.
And so both of those guys are known for turning it on in the playoffs. And I wonder, that's why I hope that series happens. Also, as a Leaf fan, I want them to win the division.
I hope it's the first
They have never
series-
won the Atlantic.
I hope it's the first series to go 13 games.
Honestly, but it will be like, can you tell me if it's going to be high scoring or not? I don't know, because both of those guys are going to turn it on
To start.
to start. It will be, and then it'll tighten up.
And then it'll be like -1 to -2 in overtime. Yeah.
It'll be nuts.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good matchup, man.
To add to Leon's case, he leads the league in game-winning goals. He's got 11 on the year, which is absurd. He also leads
Steven
the league,
Lorenz would like a word.
He also leads the league in overtime goals with 6.
Wow.
So you know
Jeez.
when those big moments happen and you need that goal to win the game, Draisaitl showing up, which I feel like that should add to
That
this case.
absolutely
It should matter.
Yeah.
He's also tied for first in even strength points, and we all know power play points don't count.
Don't count.
So, I think that's key.
No, I give it to Leon.
Damn.
Yeah. He saved my season. I mean,
Yeah.
enough said.
The even strength points thing is I think adds to the argument too. Yeah,
Right.
A lot of people take that away from Kucherov, which I don't think you should.
No.
But it adds to the case.
No, but Jesse, you know that doesn't count.
Yeah,
So, like,
power
why
play
are-
points don't count.
They don't count.
But I think it's really indicative of the great season that Leon's had that he leads the league in even strength points.
Hey, I'm just looking up the game-winning goal stat. John Tavares and William Nylander both have 8.
Holy
They're
shit.
both in the top 10.
Really?
That's pretty good.
Damn.
You know,
16.
that's 16 goals, game-winning goals between
Holy
the two
shit.
of them.
All right.
How many actual game-winning goals does Steven Lorenz have? 2?
4.
Four
He has
of
4.
4 of 7.
That's crazy clutch.
Yeah.
Now,
And I saw one of them.
can you get Hart votes based on percentage of total goals scored being game-winning goals? And
He's
how many,
over 50. He's
how many?
a lock.
How many second-place votes will Steven Lorenz
First
get?
place votes. What are you
First
talking
place.
about?
Yeah. What's the disrespect? Adam, what do you have against Waterloo?
True. Good
Piece
point.
of crap.
I can't.
More like water boo.
Yeah,
You.
you're right. You're
How dare
right.
you.
Let's get to the press conference, boys.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Favorite part of the trip to San Jose?
Riding the Zamboni at the Sharks game.
That was pretty neat.
That
to
was
watch that.
pretty great. So we all got to ride the Zamboni at the San Jose Barracuda game. And that was friggin' cool. And I'm taking nothing away from that. I got to be my son's hero. Friggin' FaceTimed him. He was sitting in the back of a car in Canada. I'm a 5.5 hour flight away. And I'm like, look at this. I'm on a Zamboni for the first time in my entire life. Then later that night, and it came together very fast. It was like while we were shooting the LFR, they're like, hey, you want to go on the Zamboni first intermission? And I'm like, let's get there, let's get there, let's get there. The SAP Center is 4 times the size. I'm pretty sure 4 times the capacity. When I was on the ice, I was very struck by, holy crap, I'm on NHL ice right now. On a Zamboni with a fin.
It is 4 times the size, by the way. Yeah.
There you go. So, and I was like making deep eye contact with people who we had met over the week. But what was funny about it is we didn't announce that we were going to be there. So it was like people would just look up and be like, Steve. And I was like, you, what's up? Just,
there he is.
Yeah, there he is. Look how happy that 37-year-old grown man is. I don't care. I had so much fun.
They have the coolest Zamboni too.
They do. So myself and Alejandro, who was the other guy lucky enough to ride the Zamboni, he was on the black Zamboni.
Yep.
We did Rochambeau to decide which Zamboni
Rock, paper,
we would
scissors.
get. Yeah, he called it Rochambeau. Yeah. And he picked the black one, which we both won. I wanted the teal one. But we were both just like kids. We were absolute kids.
Very cool.
Riding that thing. It was super cool, super fun. The Sharks organization is top notch. I will kiss their ass forever. They couldn't have treated us better.
It was also neat for us to see SDPN up on the billboard in an NHL arena.
Yeah.
Never had that before. I think that's
Dangle
pretty
Podcast,
neat, and we'll take that. That's pretty sweet. It was a
We
pretty
froze our
magical week.
asses off on our trip to California. We were in arenas like the whole time.
Yes,
And they were cold arenas because California is hot. So
Heck, see you.
they have to keep the arena super cold, like
Yeah.
colder than the ones here.
I noticed though when we went to Barracuda games, and that the arena was warmer. Like, it's like I didn't freeze to death. We were frozen when it was just us in there, but with
yeah.
all the human beings
there's
in there,
people, yeah.
Yeah.
That first day we recorded was the longest one. We did like a full show. Did we do Podorowski, Cardwell, and Jonathan Becker the same day?
No,
We didn't?
no. I think Cardwell and Becker were the next day.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't remember that.
Whatever.
No, Becker was the first day.
Oh, he was the first
Yeah,
day?
we pre-recorded and then we put it in the podcast on Wednesday.
Oh, there
right?
you go.
Whatever the first day was, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, that was Becker and Cardwell. I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sure, Yeah.
Yeah, we were frozen, but it was fun. Jesse, what was your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was our meet and greet pregame of the Sharks-Leafs game.
Yeah.
Because I sat there in this just room under the stairs of where you enter the SAP Center.
Their entrance is pretty cool.
It's really cool. And I want to talk about the arena a little and how 90s it feels. But they have these stairs, this big stairs that you enter, and underneath there's a little room. They want to turn into a speakeasy eventually. Somebody had that idea. And
I think it's a great
awesome.
idea.
But we're just sitting in this room at a table. And I was like, I have no idea how many people are going to show up to this because they didn't confirm hey, you need to get tickets or anything to show up to this. It's just hey, if you're around, you're a fan of the podcast, show up. And it was 150 people, maybe even more than that.
The lineup was an hour.
The lineup went out the door, around the corner, and then up the stairs that used to enter the SAP. And the line just kept going. And eventually we got to the first 10 dozen people or whatever. And they're like, okay.
10 dozen?
Sorry, 10 dozen people. Sorry, I worded that awful. Eventually, after the first dozen people, they're like, okay, you have to speed this up because there's a giant-ass line. We're like, holy shit, we had no idea anybody was going to show up. And the line just kept going. We had to do so quick for an hour straight of meeting people. And just that moment where I was like, wow, all these people showed up in California just to meet us was really cool. So that was my favorite.
And it's not like it was all Leaf fans or expats.
No.
No, it was California hockey.
People local who just are Sharks fans who might listen to the show.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think, the Dan Boyle interview was a highlight.
He was great.
He was spectacular. I think for me, it was like, wow. I was sitting there, it's a tie it's a three-way tie with him, Becker, and Jonathan Becker, who's the president of the Sharks, first NHL president we've had on the team or on the show, and then obviously William Eklund, who was also really good.
Oh, he was so good.
But Dan Boyle sitting there and opening up the way he did, and giving us so many insights. And again, like we talked about off the top of the show, the Mike Keenan stuff and all that. It's crazy. It's all in there. You're going to love it.
You're fucking awful. And you're worse.
Yeah, it's great. It's
And
really great.
Steve was right, by the way, but we did the 3 interviews on the first day.
We did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we had 4 players on, right? And we had 1 on the Wednesday, 2 on the Tuesday.
That was Andrew
and
Podorowski.
And Becker, we
Yeah.
pre-recorded. Yeah, so we did the show and then 3 interviews.
So that was one of the 28, 30 degree Celsius days. And after I just went out and stood in the sun. I was freezing to death, just shivering.
Yeah. Jonathan Becker's insights were interesting too. And they're really doing a lot to build the community around there too. They're building ice pads all over Northern California.
Tech CU, the Sharks practice facility, which is also where the Barracuda play. We don't have anything like that here.
No, we don't.
Nope.
Explain what that means.
So there's 6 pads of ice, which I think the Ford Performance Center has 6. Not totally sure. Yeah. They have obviously way more seats. There's the one arena where there's a few hundred seats in the Ford Performance Center. This one has obviously a 4,000 seat arena that they use for the San Jose Barracuda. But there's also a bunch of restaurants and it's way more of a social hub. It's very central. I feel like in Toronto, we just shove shit wherever we can find space. Whereas they obviously had the space to let this building breathe. It's really, really nice. California has escaped a lot of the old non-traditional hockey market stereotypes. I don't know, it's 2025. I think we can be done with that. How many players from California have we seen now? It's trying to think of a better hockey facility I've ever been in. Honestly, non-NHL arena, because that's kind of an unfair advantage. You would expect that to be state of the art. This thing's fantastic.
Yeah, Stanley's and
Calder's.
They're just 2 bars that exist there, and they overlook 2 different arenas. So if you just got your friend playing beer league or your partner playing beer league, you can go to this bar, and it's a very nice bar, and just hang out and watch the games and everything. It's really cool how the whole thing's set up.
The one little bit of defense I'll throw up for the Ford Performance Center in Toronto is they might be able to put a bar upstairs, except the Hockey Hall of Fame archives are there. So there's no room.
Makes it difficult.
But they built this complex, which is the largest hockey complex that west side of the Mississippi that we learned from the president.
Yeah, they weren't sure if it still was.
Okay.
But It has been for a very long time.
Right. And it's relatively new. So when
Yes.
it was built relatively recently, it was. They built it as a hangout spot. And there's constantly things going on in terms of public skates or minor league hockey. So all 6 ice pads are consistently being used, whether it's by the AHL team, the away team, the Sharks themselves doing practice, minor league hockey, and then in between that, just public skates for whoever wants to rent skates and go out there.
The one major difference I noticed as a Canadian that I wasn't used to is the majority of the people doing public skating were wearing figure skates. And they were like doing like little spins and stuff. I'm just not at public skates here. There's like a few people who show up and do their little twirl.
Well,
I
think it's because, Steve, there are figure skating rinks here, whereas those are the only rinks that are available.
That's right.
Figure skating rinks don't have boards. They don't have it's different, right? So you actually can just go and figure skate at a figure skate rink here.
Yeah, there's one in Whitby, I think. Yeah.
You know what? I'm
Went
sure
to it
everybody
last
in the pod needed to know that.
Oh,
too.
okay.
Oh,
They sure did.
No, well, there's one. Steve. One highlight for me is Steve kept making Oshawa and Ajax jokes, and nobody got them. That's how you knew you were around California fans. I'm like, you can't.
All right. I'm gonna have to go deep into my bag.
They're like, great. What is that? But yeah, no. I think that's the thing is that like all of them would be run out of that facility, right? Because that's what's there.
Yeah.
But it's it was really great, fun time. The fans that showed up and that sort of thing, I was genuinely surprised. It was just how many people were there.
and we need to talk about the most important things, which is we filmed 5 fat guy corners.
Yeah.
If you don't follow,
5?
I think it was 5. We'll count it. But like, if you don't follow SDPN Sports on Instagram or TikTok, do it, because that's where we released all of our Fat Guy Corner content that we recorded there. But we got hounded by everybody who is local in San Jose, who knew that we were visiting and were there to try this damn orange sauce at a place called La Vic, that they call it there. It's La Victoria, but they all call it La Vic. So we eventually moseyed our way over to La Vic, but that was not until we had Mexican 2 more times before that, because
you're right.
You don't have authentic Mexican in Toronto because you don't have the large Mexican community that they have in California. And in San Jose, they have so much good Mexican. And every day we're just eating tacos and Mexican food.
Yes.
I'd still say I still give the edge to Rosario's. Rosario, the first one that we tried to me was the best, but La Vic was. I went there twice, so
It was
pretty good.
I forgot because you went with us.
I went
and then
alone.
Another time after we were walking back from the arena, you just went alone.
I just went alone. I had the orange sauce and green sauce together by myself and was happy as
Did you get the Supreme taco again or the regular?
Yeah, Supreme taco with the sour cream.
Yeah. Okay.
And do you have a favorite, Adam, for the food spots?
Oh, favorite food spot? Well, Rosario's was, I think, my favorite. First place. Yeah. There was, though, we haven't told this story. There was a man that just came off. Remember at Rosario's? So Jesse and Steve go to order tacos at this place, like a second round of them, because they were so good.
Do we have any footage of this?
No. And this
man.
man comes off the street and he starts singing to me. And
beautifully, by the way.
Like, he's got this angelic voice. And then he goes and he tells me about how he's had some medical stuff done or whatever. And then he's like giving me like a coupon book. And so basically he was referencing like bands like Tower of Power and stuff like that, which are big 70s like funk bands. And I'm like, yeah, like, were you in those bands? And I never quite got a clear answer from him. But then, at one point he's like, well, he's like, you should hit one of these spots, blah, blah, blah. And maybe any donation can help. And I'm like, man, I have no cash on me. But he sang so beautifully. I'm like, but we'll buy you a burrito. So he had never had one. So he got a Rosario's burrito as well.
Fully lying.
And he was, I think he was.
This was a man who needed a meal and Adam bought him a meal.
Yeah. But man, he could sing, damn it.
That guy scammed Adam hard.
No.
But why? But it wasn't scammed because we were all like, we all very much knew what was going on. And we're like, you're doing a good thing, Adam.
Yeah.
You're doing a good thing.
Adam was doing the very kind.
Yeah, he man, I couldn't believe his voice. I was like, damn.
It was
brilliant.
I mean, really, you were just paying him for the performance.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, no, it was great.
We got the opportunity to try Chicago-style pizza for the first time. I had never had...
Detroit.
Yeah,
Sorry, Detroit-style
but
pizza.
they call it Dutch style out there. Just
Is
to be
that what
clear.
it said?
Yeah. So the guy, I heard that. So we were at what was the pizza joint?
SOH.
Yeah. So, if you've ever seen Detroit style pizza, it looks like lasagna, right? It's big and thick.
good.
They call it Dutch style because of the bread they use, but it's the exact same thing, Jesse. You're right.
Yeah, they use sourdough bread on theirs.
It's actually a lot closer to the pizza my Nonna used to make. So I don't know. Like it's pizza in Italy is not like it's meant to like throw your leftovers on.
Well, yeah, it's
Like,
like anything else, right? Like it's peasant food. It's like whatever our leftovers are and bread.
And it's family sure were that.
Absolutely. Well, but that's what makes it so great.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Lasagna's the same, right? It's sort of like, what do you have left over? Just throw it in there.
Layers and layers.
But it was Jesse bought a normal like flat piece of pizza, and then he bought this other piece, and the sauce was insane.
The
You're like,
sauce is what really made it good. Well, the bread too. The sourdough bread was incredible, but that
super
sauce
good.
was incredible. It was really sweet and delicious.
NorCal. It's all about sourdough.
yeah.
Is that
Oh
that's
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And that was the when we got the pizza. That was our opportunity to see San Jose's nightlife because
Yes.
we did that on a Friday night in their like little district where all the clubs and the bar things. It's a pretty good scene. It's. I thought San Jose, just in my mind, was more of a city, but it is really in reality more of a suburb, and it's sprawling, kind of how all California is sprawling. Like the neighborhoods just extend and keep going on. So there's not really like a big downtown like you have in Toronto, where we have this big concentration of a downtown.
Not enough
but,
traffic for my liking.
yeah, but because of that, you get like opportunities to ride your bike everywhere, and you can just walk and that sort of stuff. And there's no traffic in most cases.
Yeah, it was cool.
Biggest surprise of the trip was we saw Canadian geese. I didn't know they went there.
Yeah, they went all the way down.
I didn't know they went.
And
all
they're
the way
just
down.
as annoying down there too.
Yeah.
No, they were pretty chill.
Yeah, just don't get in their shit.
No, weed's legal there.
They're working their way. They're working their way back up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, public service announcement. It's April tomorrow, which means leave the geese alone. They're going to kill you.
No, they won't leave you alone. That's the difference.
Well, yeah, sorry. What I meant to say was don't get within 50 meters of them because you're going to get a healthy dose of and then a little bit of
I had the opportunity to eat In-N-Out Burger for the first time, and a lot of people got on me because I ate it with the bun.
Wait, you're not supposed to eat it with the bun?
I
Not Jesse.
I don't eat burgers with buns. People know that. But I feel like it was the first time ever trying this burger. I should eat it with the bun. Fantastic. And everybody told me afterwards that I should have got the animal fries, which is a thing apparently that you can order. It's like an off the menu thing that you can just order. But so next time I'll have to get that. And we should do a special shout out to all the people who helped us there for the whole week, especially Ryan. And Jim from the Sharks, and even Heather, who and all the great staff that we met down there, and Gary at security at the SAP Center.
thorough.
Gary was thorough.
Al, who worked the Zamboni at TechCU.
Bruce, who worked the Zamboni at the Sharks game.
Yes, it was. They are really a special group, and they're trying to reach out to fans as much as possible. And they certainly, I think that's why we were there, and they really just, they really do care about their fans. It is really like if you talk Jonathan Becker, who's the president, right on down, it's like, how do we get more fans in the door? How do we get more people trying hockey? How do we make it more affordable? How do we find like that? All of those things came up, and we never needed to prompt that. It was like, how do we, these are the things that they're constantly working to solve every single day. And I think that's really cool.
And all the alternate logos and merch they have. Like Becker, I don't remember if he told us this on camera or off, but he's like, yeah, we've worked with like 13 different artists to do something for this and do something for that and do something for that. And he knew about all of it.
Yeah.
He's not just some leader in an ivory tower going, here, do this for me or whatever. Like, you knew the names of everything. They're all really involved.
Yeah.
Poor
Trying
Ryan
to make the thing happen.
had to shuttle us around all week, and he was working like triple overtime because he'd work all day, and then the game's at night. And
Yes.
he's like, I need to just go home and get some sleep eventually.
Yes.
Always there.
Yeah.
Should have given him a hammock. or something.
Doug Benson, Heather Vaughn are the heads of the, so Doug Benson is the chief marketing officer, and Heather Vaughn is the vice president of marketing. They were sort of the ones that ultimately greenlit this. I think it was Ryan Ellis that really put it forward, and I think they kind of said, okay, we'll give this a shot. So owe them a big shout out and a big thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I hope you enjoyed the content. I really do. Hope you had.
We did.
Yeah, and go back and consume it if you weren't following along at the time.
Consume it like we consumed Fat Guy tacos.
Yeah.
Delish.
was
Can
fun.
you get orange sauce shipped to Canada? Can you buy it on Amazon?
You should have bought it on there. They sold bought it. I think they're like $8 or something. Should
Oh.
throw in the checked bags, you know?
Speaking of which, shout out to the lady at Air Canada yesterday who told me that my bag was 1 pound over and let it slide.
Oh,
It was $100.
If.
You're like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me, Air Canada?
No, they're not.
Hey.
That's why I shout out that lady.
And you know what they'll say to you? Who else are you going to use?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
If I had bought orange sauce, that might have made me 2 pounds
Yeah.
over, and I might have had to pay $100.
Then she wouldn't let it slide. Yeah.
But she was lovely,
But
wasn't she?
She was very kind to
Yeah.
let that slide and get you on the plane for not that extra $100.
Yeah.
I thought it was very funny that she was like, it's a pound, but she made sure to let us know. Yeah, it'd be $100.
I think the funniest part of the traveling part, the plane trip, was Adam made a person on the plane very mad at him because Adam tried to order a chicken sandwich.
Oh,
telling us how.
You piece of garbage.
So I was hungry midway through the flight yesterday, and I thought that they mostly want you to sit, right? They don't want you to get up as much as possible, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But I pressed the passenger button, and the steward came by, and he was great. But he seemed miffed at me when it wasn't an emergency. Do you know what I mean? I was like, "Hi, I would just like to," and he was like, "Oh."
Oh, you're hungry?
Are you hungry? And I was like, oh no. And I felt really very instantaneously guilty, but I did get a delicious chicken wrap.
I would listen. We've been very
The guilt complex, the shame I live in.
very nice. And that was everyone who worked with the Sharks. So that's our stick tap. If we're doing the CJ show, that's our stick tap.
And cross check.
Can I give a cross check to everyone who's ever worked at the airport ever?
No.
I would just like to make
he's right.
something loud and clear for you. I don't work here. I'm not your coworker, and I'm definitely not some fucking asshole. So stop talking to me like I'm one. Hey, do that. The way they talk to you. Fuck you too.
Steve's right to do
Oh
this.
my God, they're nightmares.
They just gave you $100 off your
No,
luggage.
she was the only cool one. She was cool.
No, but
she was, and also the baggage guy at Pearson was very cool too.
Steve, you are right to do this segment because I don't really care. Adam, I assume you don't really care about this. I had a good time at the airport. Everything
I
was
was
fine.
fine.
I got through real quick. But Steve is passionate about two things in his life.
Oh.
The Leafs and not working for the airport.
I don't
and being
fucking
upset
work
at
here.
airport
I
employees.
don't know the rules.
I've never heard you so passionate than when you were saying this.
I'd like to say this, Jesse. I think what's hilarious about it is that these poor people have to explain the same goddamn rules to every single person
somewhere
that
else.
walks through the airport.
Work somewhere else, or
Hayden's agreeing with Steve.
or continue to work there and be prepared for me to say fuck you when you say fuck you to me.
No, then they'll send you home. Don't say F you.
No, definitely don't. Say
I
fuck you.
want
I'm
Steve's airport
exaggerating.
corner every week.
Don't talk to me like I'm an asshole.
But maybe they're just at their limit that day, you know? Everybody's a human being.
Damn.
Damn.
Gonna have to file.
crazy.
Man, that might be 10 that's crazies out of 10.
Yes.
I just have to say, I agree with Steve 100% because that's like Adam said, explaining the same thing to people over and over again. That's like me complaining I have to watch another Leafs game. Sorry, that's what you signed up for.
Right.
Hey, that's the job.
Yeah, for 8 hours, you're talking to people
I
about
get
the
it.
rules.
That's the job.
It's a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, but
Oh, I don't know about that.
yeah. Also, maybe
I've
probably
worked
not.
in customer service. There's a lot of customers you don't want to give service to.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
like
don't
saying,
work here.
Yeah, your waiter had to talk about the menu all day for 8 hours.
Do I look
know?
confused? Do I look lost? Okay. Should you pull my pants down and scream at everyone and go, "Hey, everyone, look at this guy's bare ass," or "Help me,
Is that a thing?
you fucking asshole"?
Get probed?
Yeah. It's if you bring your bag into the wrong line before dropping it off. They actually pull your pants down and smack your supple bottom.
So when we were coming back to Canada, they had 4-ish lines at the San Francisco airport. And one of them, the dude is yelling at everybody in the line because his line exclusively was leave your laptop in the bag. But the 3 other ones were take your laptop out of the bag.
Mine was keep your laptop in too.
So nobody explained that.
No.
Each line was different on the rules of
Yes.
whether the laptop stays in and stays out. But they were upset at us for not knowing that. They had weird rules for 2 of the 4 lines.
Yes.
So
What?
On the way there, you guys missed this because you got to the airport before me.
Oh, yeah. Steve was also late to the airport. I don't know if anybody listening is surprised at that.
We told
but-
him to be there at a certain time.
Because
He's
my
like-
Uber went to the wrong address.
He's like, what if I
No,
don't?
he got excuses, obviously.
He literally went to the wrong address and then canceled. I was like, oh, thanks, man. And I got charged.
Steve was late to the airport.
I was late.
We told him to be there early, and he was like an hour late.
So you're not allowed to bring water.
He almost missed the plane.
You're not allowed to bring. I didn't almost miss. I was pretty close. You're not allowed to bring water in your carry-on.
No, of
in your
course not.
backpack.
No.
I know
that
that.
one you should know.
I know that.
Yeah.
I accidentally left my water bottle.
Oh.
Oh,
Do you know how many times that would accidentally? I would love to see you on the other side of that. You'd be like, "Are you freaking kidding me, dude?"
Yeah.
no, no.
The water
So
bottle?
what she did was she goes. So what's in here? And I go, there's like an iPad. This is, and she unzips it and shows me the water
Oh,
and gives me this look like I fucked up my homework.
you did.
Can you just pour it out and let's all get on with our day?
You
What?
did.
What's this
Because
song and
she's
dance?
got to tell you so that she,
Oh well, then give me detention then. Like
Steve, don't have a water bottle in your backpack.
I know I fucked. Oh, I'm so sorry to be the first person to ever make a mistake.
You know what? You should
to
say
ever
that-
be in a rush.
You should
And-
say that to the cops the next time you're pulled over for speeding.
Oh yeah, that's the same.
Oh, I'm the first
Oh,
guy
that's
that's
the
ever
same.
sped.
That's the same. Well, how about this? You're
They're
not
just trying
a
to keep the
goddamn
country
cop.
safe.
How about that?
They're just trying to keep the
Oh,
country.
yeah?
They are cops.
Then
They're
pour it
vantage
out.
cops.
Pour my nitroglycerin down the sink then. Whatever the fuck you think it is. Pour it out.
My Molotov cocktail. Pour it.
Just say you had water, and I go, oh, you don't gotta look at me like I'm a child. Fuck you too.
Steve hated the airport.
I hate the
know what it is,
airport.
Jesse? You know what it is?
No,
It's-
but
It's so on brand for you.
It's traffic.
Like, I'm not surprised.
It's
yeah,
traffic.
because
It's
I
just
have
traffic.
ADHD and it has a lot of steps.
It's the exact same feeling that traffic is.
It's just traffic.
Yeah.
That's why you don't like
Yeah.
it, because it's a bunch of people like, and you know what's hilarious about it is that you're like mad. You are actually, when you're on the road, you're mad at other cars. When you're in the airport, you're just mad at the staff who talk down to you, which is funny. You're not mad at the other people.
Don't talk
waiting
to
in
me
line.
like that. No? What the fuck? Oh yeah, no. I love
great.
getting up at 4 to be talked to like some fucking asshole.
I bet they love it. I bet they love being yelled
Steve,
at. I bet they
I
love
don't-
it.
Steve, I don't-
Adam, that's
You don't
20 damn
realize
that's crazies out of 10. I don't fucking care where
You
you
don't
were.
realize,
I don't care.
Steve, that you, in that instance, to them, are some fucking asshole.
You are.
That's great. Damn, that's crazy. So be prepared for me to be some fucking asshole at you if that's how you
and
treat me.
they're going to give you that energy back.
Jesse, they are the aggressor.
Oh, no.
And listen, I'm sure every day they deal with a ton of people
Yeah.
who
Suck. They suck.
who suck ass.
Do you think you're one of them?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. But listen, I worked in customer service. It's not fun all the time. Be helpful. I don't know where. Do I look like I don't know where I'm going? Okay, I'm going to reveal something. You're not going to believe this. I don't fucking know where I'm going.
Can
Can you
work
help?
there?
Can you help? Jesus Christ. Sorry. Oh, I love traveling. Bullshit. You love being places. Traveling sucks ass.
Yeah.
Being places
like
is
traveling.
great. Traveling sucks ass.
I don't mind airports.
I don't mind them either.
You're wrong.
I don't mind them either. I get annoyed slightly sometimes, but never going through security. Right? Like I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
Oh, TSA stands for tough shit, asshole.
It should.
I think, to me, airports have like a soft spot in my heart and a certain serendipity to them because it feels like adventure. It feels like you're doing
Yes!
something.
Yeah.
It feels like a little flourish of life and sparkle.
Steve walks
so
through-
I think airports are really cool.
Steve walks through like he's a mixture of Rock'em Sock'em Robots and Nikita Kucherov at the All-Star game.
I
Just
walk through.
grumpy as hell.
I want to fight somebody.
I am the most pleasant person
I don't know.
until you're an asshole at me for no good reason. For no good reason. Oh, you're in the wrong. I didn't fucking know.
Don't do that impression. No. That's what? Don't do that impression.
What, did I upset the troll community? You're in the wrong. I don't.
You know, it is kind of true though that there's like you go into an airport and there's so many signs. There's like 80 billion signs, and here's the line if you didn't get a Nexus, but if you didn't get a Nexus, you might have this, which is it's not Nexus, but it's kind of fast, and then here's the super slow asshole line.
Yeah, and Adam,
it's really hard.
I've got 3 hours to figure out where I'm going.
You know why?
I don't give a shit.
Why is that, Jesse?
I don't have any place else to be but this airport and get to my gate. And I got 3 hours of my life to figure that out, which is a lot of time because I showed up extra early for my flight.
Mm-hmm. No, here's the customer service that I'm used to. Hey, I know this isn't the same. Yes. Work with me. Just let me do it.
No, do your thing.
Hey,
cook.
I work at the Toronto Zoo. Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anywhere that you need to go? Are you looking for something? That's the kind of customer service I am used to. Not take off your shoes, electronics out of the bag, whip out your dick, no food or water. Hey, shithead, your 4-year-old is being a 4-year-old. How about you belt here, wallet here, passport up ass. Why you taught you to speak that way?
The one thing I wish was actually the same.
Who raised you?
Is that I wish the rules were the same in every airport. Like Toronto, you have to take your laptop out. San Francisco, which is where we flew out of, you don't.
Unless you're in the line that I was in, where you do.
Oh, yeah, Toronto,
that's
you
what I
don't.
was trying to explain.
Toronto, you don't have to take your shoes off.
Oh yeah, you do.
I took my shoes
most
off.
certainly
Okay,
do.
yeah.
I don't remember taking my shoes. Maybe it was.
Oh,
early.
maybe you just.
There are certain airports where you don't
Well,
have.
then you're lucky someone didn't go. Oh, give me this. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? A shoe?
Stephen hit
Fuck,
Adam.
what do you have a shoe for? You
Steven's
never been to
beating
the
Adam
fucking
with his own
airport?
shoe right
You never been to the fucking airport? Get out of here. You know what? Get out of here. That's how they act, man.
Adam, how was your head?
It's fine. It's just a Croc. So they're rubber. Oh. All right, I think that's a good note to wrap it up.
No, we need to get to one more thing.
Hold me the fuck.
What do we have to do, Jesse?
We got to play this one video.
Okay.
We didn't bring this up, which is probably top 5 moment ever of our hockey lives.
Yeah.
We got to drop the puck.
Oh!
At the San Jose Barracuda.
There's my highlight. I
The
love this.
Barracuda played the Abbotsford Canucks, and we got to drop the puck pregame. So, Hayden, if you want to bring this up, this is us coming out. They gave us the Jumbotron footage, and there's us at this silly game dropping this silly puck. And Steve, in this moment, what's going through your mind?
So I am very nervous. There's me taking it in for a sec. I got to say hi to the captain. Got to say hi to the captain of the Abbotsford Canucks. Then I got to look up for the picture. I don't have my glasses on. I cannot see. Then you're going to see the captain of the Barracuda go drop the puck, man. And so there I finally do. Didn't want to screw it up. Now, there's me being really nervous. Jesse, can you go through it again? Because I want to point something out. I don't think I was the only one of you guys who was nervous. No, keep scrolling back. There you go. Watch Adam's hands.
Oh yeah.
Watch Adam's hands.
Adam's hands?
My
Okay,
wife
let me
pointed
see.
this out. We laughed. It was
see
very
it.
funny. Watch Adam's hands.
Adam's hands?
One hand in pocket, the other hand out.
Okay.
All right. Both hands in pocket.
Yeah.
One hand, both hands in pocket, no hands in pocket, hands behind the back.
I don't know what to do with them.
Adam,
I didn't think anybody would
coming undone at the seams.
Adam, you did not know what to do with your hands.
It was Steve at an airport line right there.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
bad, all over the place.
All right. Red carpet, center ice, drop puck, fist bump, leave the ice, whip out your dick.
By the
I
way,
hate the airport.
finally, the American Hockey League just tweeted and said we looked good in teal, and they tweeted the picture.
No way.
Yeah, they did. I'll send it to you guys.
I'm
fun.
going to retweet that.
Yeah, we'll send it to you, Jesse. It's pretty neat.
Steve, this freeze frame that we got here, you didn't know that you were supposed to drop the puck.
I didn't know
there
when.
where doesn't one of the captains tell you, hey, drop the puck?
Yeah, it was Schultz.
Yeah.
Look at Abbotsford. He's like, all right. Is there something?
Let's get on with this.
This guy win a contest? What is he dying? Why is drop the puck? Drop it.
I felt in this moment here, I'm like, is it going to happen? Is he going to drop it? And then you're like, oh, yeah. And then that nod, you get the,
hilarious.
And then it's like, oh, you finally dropped it. You did a good job dropping it too.
Yeah, I did such a good job.
Really flat.
A lot of people were like, why didn't you fake drop it? Because Mom and Dad told me I shouldn't.
No, I don't think that was the moment to do the bit.
I was going to do it.
If this was like,
I was 100% going to do it.
Just our fans or something, then we're hamming it up and all that. Not the place to ham it up.
Yeah. Hey, but can you I just sent you one more tweet. I loved this tweet. I thought it was one of the funniest tweets. A lot of people were tweeting about you being on the Zamboni and how you become what you hate because of the David Ayres thing, funny. Which is hilarious. But this to me is the best tweet, and it comes from Chrissy. It's just hysterical. Okay. Obviously you rode the Zamboni at the Barracuda game. We all did. It was amazing. Yeah. And then they say to you, okay, you're going to ride the Zamboni at the Sharks game. And somebody, are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Somebody tweets this, and it's the welcome home cheater. The Leafs when Steve Dangle returns to Toronto. So
you know what? You let me interview your players and your president, who have said maybe should be fine, and also let me ride the Zamboni at the Marlies and then the Leafs.
Yeah,
and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
The Sharks treat me. They made me feel important.
That's your work wife.
They made me feel
your work wife a little bit like, who's treating you so good.
Man, you're like Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, but before the engagement broke off, during the movie premiere.
You make me wanna. Oh no, that was listen, I got the hots for the Sharks right now.
All right, let's wrap up.
Steve, you can't leave your family for your work wife.
Yeah.
So it's not realistic.
Not how it works.
It's just a fantasy.
I don't know.
Let's be honest though. If that were true, it would be like, hey, the Leafs would be like, oh yeah, I guess you kind of exist.
Oh yeah, you exist and it's an inconvenience to all involved.
That's not true.
Welcome to the airport of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Accredited media, sir.
Yes,
they acknowledge us.
That is true.
God bless them.
That is true.
We had a great time. We will see you Wednesday. Our shows are back to normal. And, of course, Friday, dropping a new VIP. And, of course, our Friday show as well. And also, I'm streaming.
What is this?
Panthers this week.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.